All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Hakwadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone Ruel. Peace, blessings, salutations to the elect that is out there pushing, laboring, believing, and listening to His truth. All right, with heart sincerity. And may the blessed election be upon your houses. All right, the time topic of this lesson, all right, is going to be, all right, chaos and uproars. Stay focused. All right, because right now we're seeing a lot of uproars of people, all right, due to, what happened with this individual named Charlie Kirk getting put to death. All right, we're seeing chaos and also even more uproars happening in these various other nations. Example, Nepal, governments is getting overthrown, parliaments is getting overthrown. All right, so all these things is happening right now, man. All right, but we must also, in the midst of seeing these things, should give us, more fire, put that fire on you, keep you going, keep you reminded to stay focused on Yahweh Shema Shah, because we are at the end. We are truly at the end. We're seeing these prophecies come to pass. We're seeing the judgments that's going out, that Yahweh Shema Shah is letting go out in this place, man. All right, so we must stay focused and, keep our eye on the prize, man. I'm going to start with this right here in Proverbs the 4th chapter, verse 25, and it reads, "Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee." Right? So ultimately, man, keep our eyes on the prize, man. Stay focused and keep striving and fighting for the kingdom, man, because it's going to get a lot worse out here, man. All right? You hear a lot of talks of civil wars, right? A lot of talks of wars. All right, so we're seeing that we are truly at the end, so we got to stay focused, stay well rooted, and continually push and fight and serve Yahweh Shema Shai all the way into the end. All right, Lord willing, we are a part of that number to be saved out of this place, man. All right, but nevertheless, I want to show this clip real quick. All right, this is a clip right here from pause this. This is a clip right here. Pause it, run it back. Right, this is from 7 News Australia, right? And this is titled "Nepal Parliament Burns as PM Resigns." All right, and a little backstory of what happened was, ultimately, the parliament was being wicked, man. All right, they were fully wicked, man. All right, their rulers were fully wicked because they had their, how in Babylon we have, Democrats and Republicans. I don't know what they call it over there, if it's called the same thing, but they would seem as if they were, oppositions, in front of the masses, right, in front of the media and so forth, but behind closed doors they were buddy, right? They were being, acting like they were friends, and that's the same thing they do here in Babylon, man. Right? You got these Democrats and Republicans that act like they're, against each other, but behind closed doors, man, they're buddy, man. They got the same agenda, man. But nevertheless, the people got fed up, man. They burned the parliament down, as you see here in the title. All right, which ultimately forced the prime minister to resign, man. All right, but I'm gonna play this clip real quick.
Have set fire to the parliament in Nepal, where violent unrest is growing. The Prime Minister has resigned after police shot dead 19 young anti-corruption protesters on Monday. Australian officials are closely monitoring the riots, and Asia editor James Carmody is in Canberra with the latest.
This violent unrest, which began as anti-corruption protests, has shown few signs of slowing, with Nepal's parliament building and the Prime Minister's home set on fire. That followed police on Monday shooting at protesters with live ammunition, killing 19 people, wounding more than 100 and sparking national outrage. In the aftermath, that parliament building in Kathmandu has been stormed by demonstrators and set ablaze. The residence of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli among a number of politicians' homes and government buildings torched, and amid the chaos, 900 inmates have escaped from 2 prisons. Yesterday, the government reversed a ban on social media in the country, and Nepal's Prime Minister has now resigned, but it's done little to stop the rioting. Nepal's army has now warned it may step in to take control of the streets. The United Nations has urged restraint, condemning use of excessive force, but also expressing concern about the fires lit and reports of attacks on government officials. The Australian government is echoing calls for de-escalation, warning Aussies in Nepal to avoid the demonstrations, and has expressed its condolences to those protesters who have been killed and their families.
All right, so as you see there, man, right, you seen the civil unrest of these people, man. All right, we're seeing a lot of unrest happening throughout, the four corners of the world, man. Nepal was one of, I believe it was about three nations in total, or 3 places in total, counting Nepal, where ultimately, governments were getting overthrown, man. All right. So, and you see here, what they had their military come and put some people to death, man. This even made me think about, what's going on in Chicago, right, in Babylon, right? Because Trump said he's getting ready to, mobilize the National Guard to come out there, man. And you're hearing a lot of these Chicago citizens, right, the citizens of Chicago saying, hey, man, we gonna go toe to toe with them, man, right? We not scared it's gonna be war, right? And Chicago has a nickname called, Chirac, because at one point in time it had a murder rate that was higher, right? Or either the murder rate or the death rate was higher than Iraq at one point in time, man. All right. But nevertheless, this goes to show you how, these spirits are getting riled up, man. The masses are getting riled up. All right. Tensions are increasing, right? Military, is getting rolled out, man. Showing you how things are leading to martial law, right? All the chess pieces are there, man, right? So when we see these things happening in these other nations, man, these is just a precursor, right? A quick glimpse to see what's about to be a reality in Babylon, America, man. This place is truly unstable. All right, I'm gonna grab this real quick. It's Proverbs the 29th chapter, verse 2, and it reads, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Right now, the wicked are in rulership, man. So therefore, you see the acts that is committed by the people, man. Right there, mourning. They're hating. They're hateful, man. They're angry, man. All right, because everything that is being ran right now is being ran by the wicked, man. And this is about to be a reality in Babylon, America, man. A lot of these Babylonians are so drunk and lost in la la land and lollygagging to think these things that is happening in these other nations is not going to be a reality here. But newsflash, these things are coming to Babylon, America. The chess pieces are already in place, man. The dominoes already lined up. It all takes just for one to fall, man. Right? Leading me on to my next thing here, right? Because what happened with this guy called Charlie Kirk, right? He was put to death, and you're seeing people are there's people that's upset, angry, his supporters. You got other people that wanted him, that didn't like him, that wanted him dead, or are rejoicing at his death. But nevertheless, it's just showing you a rift that is created, all right, in Babylon, man. All right. And also, before I play this clip, I'm gonna pull this out, man. This is Mark the 3rd chapter, verse 25, and it reads, and if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand, right? And Babylon is highly divided, man. All right. You got the north versus south, east versus west, leftists versus rightists, conservatives versus those that's not conservative. All right. It's highly divided, man. And this thing is causing these Babylonians to be riled up, man. Babylon is one of very few, if not the only one, where, weapons, and not just regular weapons, but military grade weapons, is accessible to the average civilian, man. All right. And a lot of these Babylonians, they don't have just 1 or 2 guns, man. They be having like 15. They be having grenades. They be having rocket launchers and switches and all these different type of things, man. All right. And they getting ready to go to war, man. All right. You hear a lot of these Edomites talking about, hey, man, get ready for civil war and so forth, man. Like that movie Civil War that came out, I think, last year, the year before that, man. All right. But tensions are increasing, and we are truly at the end, man. The time of Jacob trouble is on the horizon, man. We're seeing these things happening, man. All right. Like it says in Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, I believe verse 7, right? The time of Jacob's trouble, right? There is no time like that time ever been before seen, man. All right, it's gonna be a great and terrible time that is about to fall upon the planet Earth, man. Especially in Babylon, America. But I'm gonna get this clip right here. All right, in this clip, brothers had shared this, but I had found a clip. But this clip is of a guy that is reacting to the death of Charlie Kirk. All right, and this is what it's titled, right? The person that posted this title, they're crashing out. What's for dinner? Question mark. But here's a clip.
This such bullshit. I've never been so pissed in my whole life. I just murdered Charlie Kirk right here in Utah. I'm so freaking pissed right now. This is bullshit. I just saw blood squirting out of his neck. I love that guy. He would have been our next president. I am so pissed right now. Why do they always come with fucking violence? Gosh damn it. Use the freaking words as they're talking to you people. Who shot Charlie Kirk? I'm driving in a Provo right now. I'm so pissed. Damn it.
Right? Hey, that devil, that devil red as fuck in that video, man. All right, this is a grown ass man that's crying, crashing out over an individual he never even met, man. Keep in mind, he more than likely never met this individual, man. But here he is crashing out, very angry, man. And this is how not just this guy's reacting. You know, a lot of these people that was behind him are reacting, man. Right? You know. And if you heard him towards the end of it, if you paid attention to what he said towards the latter end of the video, he said, "I'm driving down there right now. I'm so pissed, man." All right. These devils are cranked up, man. Demons cranking up on him, man. So he's saying he's so mad he's getting ready to drive down to do what? Right? They're getting ready to get active, man. Bring those swords out, man. All right? You know? This guy was highly upset, highly angry because they put that individual to death, man. All right? In a public fashion, man. You know, because he was at an event in the college university, man. And a sniper shot him. All right? But nevertheless, this goes to show you how the people are cranking up right now, man. So if you imagine this, man, if this is how just this individual's recording that we see, right, that's one of his supporters that we see, imagine how the rest of them are, man. They're highly upset, highly angry, right? This guy was friends with Trump, a Trump supporter, right? You know, he was, you know, that the epitome or the ideal image of an individual that would be like America, you know, a real patriot in other terms, man. All right. And they put him to death, and that is really riling the people up, man. All right. It's about to get real bad out here. All right. Because now, since this happened, you know, people are getting ready to try to take matters into their own hands, you know. Let me grab this. Matter of fact, yeah, let me grab this one. This is 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, verse 16, and it reads, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." And that's ultimately what's getting ready to happen in Babylon, America, man, where people aren't going to even care about law and order, man. They're not going to care about, you know, what their president or government say or what the police has to say, man. They're getting ready to, you know, take matters into their own hand, man. You know, an event like what happened with that Charlie Kirk individual, and how we see, you know, that guy that was so red, that was crying and crashing out over that thing is the same spirit as among a lot of his supporters, man. And they ain't gonna be ready to go out here and crash out, man. Right? Again, that's why you need to be serving Yahweh Shem Al Shai, man. All right? Because these devils gonna get ready to come down with a wrath, man. Right? These average civilians, right, the military, Babylon, and so forth, man, that if you do not have that hedge of protection over you from Yahweh Shem Al Shai, you cooked out here, man. All right, because we already know these devils' blessing is a sword, man. Right, they be having pinpoint bullseye accuracy, man, from the womb with it, man. All right, but it's about to get real bad out here. This is the 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter, verse 1. It reads, "He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself." And that's what we're doing, right? We measure the time diligently. Continues on, it says, "And when thou seest part of the signs which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made," right? So we measure the time diligently, watching for the signs to see that we are closer to the end. We're seeing all these signs happening, right? Verse 3, it says, "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning." And we're seeing these things. We're seeing uproars of the people crashing out, you know, in various nations throughout the four corners. Seeing, you know, what happened in Nepal, right? You know, the uproars of the people there. We're seeing the uproars of people here in Babylon due to what happened with this Charlie Kirk individual, right? And we've been seeing these things, man. right? Rapidly increasing, man. We could even go all the way back to, you know, the George Floyd era, man. No shit. Could even go farther back to the Rodney King era if you want to, man. But we've seen the tensions constantly building and increasing in this place, man. So go to show you that martial law is around the corner. Jacob's trouble is around the corner. All the pieces for these things to pop off is here. It's just a matter of time. It takes one event, one thing to truly set these things off, man. Right? That's why we got to really make sure that we are focused, man. You know, focus on the Lord. You know, doing our number one priority, which is serving Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai, man. Because at any moment, things could pop off in this place, man. All right? But hey, you know, nevertheless, you know, I'm going to close it out with that. You know, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect of Israel. With that being said, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone Ruel. Peace, blessings, salutations to the full elect that is out there pushing, laboring, believing, and listening on to this truth with our sincerity. Until next time, shalom, and a ball, Kwame Sharala, shalom.